Good evening, or good afternoon, should I say, folks. Welcome to your Sunday bumper quiz. Yep, it's back to normality this Sunday after last week's escapades. Um, just an hour or so of this one. But I'll just thank you all once again. I know I've been thanking everybody all week, but once again, much appreciated. The response was fantastic, and everybody seemed to have a good day, which is great. So we maybe do one, no a quizathon, no a 12-hour epic, but maybe do a wee afternoon quiz before lockdown finishes, or before the pubs reopen and the quiz gets back to normality. If that happens, who knows what will happen? Who knows what pubs will survive after all this? Let's hope someday. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it was great stuff. The charity is still open for donations. As I should have explained to some folk. Some folk had raised this and said to us, the charity had advised us to direct all the donations to their Just Giving page, because I was going to set one up myself, but they said, no, you're better off just firing it to that one. There was £700 already raised by various other charity appeals. So they were wanting to smash through their £1,000 target. And so they were at 700 quid, and with everybody's help due to the quizathon, they smashed right through that to get over £1,300. So down to yourselves that were involved in the quizathon, that took it to around a bit over 600 quid. So last time I checked, it was around about £635. So brilliant, as I say, fantastic. And some of you may have received little prizes in respect of that, and well done to you. But yes, so we're back to normality, back to some Sunday afternoon fun. Hope you are all staying safe, keeping well, folks. Cheers to you all. Still on the air dinger, aye, it's still going. No sold out yet. No drained the brewery as such. I know it's been mental times. But we're ready to start another one. This quiz this week, not too bad, I have to say, not too bad. It's a usual array of fun I've got for you. 5 rounds, 10 questions. As I say, you can send me your answers during this quiz if you wish. That's up to yourselves. This week's first round, if I can get to it, is just a wee general knowledge first round. Why not? So let's get started. General knowledge. We've got, what else have we got today? Round 2 is a picture round. Round 3 we have history. Then round 4 is a connection round, and then we'll end off with a music intros round. Okay. So round 1, question 1, general knowledge. Haarlem is a city in which European country? Haarlem is a city in which European country? And that is the correct spelling, by the way, just in case any of you were wanting to go, look at Gary's spelling again, isn't it awful? But if you think of the other Haarlem that you probably know, that might help you get the answer here. Might know actually, but anyway, I just thought I'd say. But anyway, that's your question 1 there. Question number 2. Which department store was the oldest in Scotland until it was purchased? Well, I see. There's me saying, oh, Gary, you've spelt that wrong. Was it? Which? I'll put it there. Independent. Which independent department store was the oldest? It was basically the oldest independent store in Scotland until it was purchased by House of Fraser in 2005. You did right. Pig's ear of this, Gary. Which independent department store was the oldest in Scotland until it was purchased by House of Fraser in 2005? I don't think I put maybe independent in the right place there then. I think my original intention was which department store was the oldest independent department store in Scotland until it was purchased by House of Fraser in 2005. Anyway. No, that actually comes across quite right. Which independent department store was the oldest in Scotland until it was purchased by House of Fraser in 2005? Right, moving swiftly on. Get yourself away for that. Pig's ear of it, Gary. Question 3. In the UK, what was the name given to the buildings in which merchants traded grains? In the UK, what was the name given to the buildings in which merchants traded grains? Buildings. Aye. Okay, so that's question number 3 there for you. Okay, you can pause these as we say as we go along. Or wind them back, it's up to yourselves. It's question number 4. Which American actor and comedian who died in 2005 was married 7 times to 5 women? Which American actor and comedian who died in 2005 was married 7 times to 5 women? Oh, to the 5 women at the same time, you know what I'm saying. He married 2 of those women twice, obviously. That's a maths would work out, wouldn't it? No? Huh? Huh? I don't know, but that's what the question said. Which American actor and comedian who died in 2005 was married 7 times to 5 women? Maths wasn't my strong point at all. Absolutely not. That's how you probably see I can't count up your scores at the end of it. It's probably why some of you don't send it to me. Or trusting them. Right, question 5. See, this is all down to Sunday. It's catching up with me, I think, folks. I should have actually just taken the whole week off and no bothered. But I wouldn't do that, no. In Italy, a Four Seasons pizza is divided into quarters. Well, traditionally is. Each featuring toppings for the seasons. Olives for summer, mushrooms for autumn, and ham for winter. Which topping represents spring? I'm all over the place with that. Like, why have I got a capital S for spring and no for summer? Because you don't really need that. In Italy, a Four Seasons pizza is divided into quarters, each featuring toppings for the seasons. Olives for summer, mushrooms for autumn, and ham for winter. Which topping represents spring? There's a version of it in America called an NFL pizza. Yep, because divided into 4 different quarters. It's not true that, just made that up. Question number 6, keeping on the old food theme. Who was the original presenter of the BBC's MasterChef when it was first broadcast in 1990? Who was the original presenter of the BBC's MasterChef when it was first broadcast in 1990? Oh, sorry. You've just disappeared. Sorry there, folks. Sorry. Apologies. Who was the original presenter of the BBC's MasterChef when it was first broadcast in 1990? I thought it was actually earlier than that, I have to say. 1990 was a fair while back, wasn't it? 30. Oh, there's my maths going. Can't even know it's 30 years ago. I was going to say 32 years ago there for some reason. Aye. So this again. Everything's getting a bit on top of me. Gillian actually suggested to me the day, maybe you should take a week off the drink. See the feel the benefit for it. And maybe when the pubs open that'll have. Question number 7. Bombardier. Billy Wells was a successful British boxer, but he also regularly appeared on the silver screen, hitting what? Bombardier. Billy Wells was a successful British boxer, but he also regularly appeared on the silver screen, hitting what? At least I know now that if I need cover now, like remember in the pub, if you needed somebody to cover you, I would either get John or Jim. Sometimes Sid did it. I'll just get Brain now today now. I should have actually just got on today this week's quizzes. I did well, wee man. Mind you, reading out some of these questions, especially my spelling and punctuation. Right, question number 8. The term above board to describe something is legitimate originates from which game? The term above board to describe something as legitimate originates from which game? I could have been more specific. No, shut up. See, there I go again. I was going to say, no. Right. So that's a term above board to describe something as legitimate originates from which game? Question number 9. The bit between his or her teeth is a term used to describe someone taking on a task enthusiastically. But from which sport does it originate? The bit between his or her teeth is a term used to describe someone taking on a task enthusiastically. But from which sport does it originate? See, I'm just doing that as a sort of visual sort of effect there because I know the answer, so it's no as a. Right, come on. Sunday afternoon. Everybody's wanting to be a bit happier. I know you're back at work tomorrow, Gary, but come on. Big smiley face. Let's get started. Let's go on to that last question and go into the music break with a wee spring in your step, son. Question 10. In 1927, John Logie Baird transmitted the first long distance television signal from London to which Glasgow hotel? Glasgow. In 1927, John Logie Baird transmitted the first long distance television signal from London to which Glasgow hotel? Glasgow Hotel. Glasgow. Oh, that's disappeared there for some reason. Why did that happen? Let's see a wee alien in the system. No, I don't know. I had like last Sunday when it was John Sullivan. I just couldn't think of his name. And that would haunt me forever. See if I was on a quiz. Like, no, maybe who wants to be the chase or something. Who wrote Who Wants to Be Alone? See, there I go. Who wrote Only Fools and Horses? And I was quick and I went, I don't know. People be like, Gary, you're one of the biggest Only Fools fans around. And you didn't get that. And you didn't get that right. I know. See, that's what happens. Right, okay. Right, we'll have a wee break there, folks. allow you to think over. Remember, you can't rewind any of them back to have a look at again, or you may have just paused them. If you want to send me your answers, you can do so via Messenger or WhatsApp, whatever your preferences. If not, and you're just playing along at home and want to mark off your own answers, you can do that at the end. Right, so music. What do we have? What do we have there, Mr. G? Let's have a bit of this. How about Radiohead and Just?
Can't get the stink out. He's been hanging around for days. Comes like a comet, suck at you but not your friends. And they'll get to you and teach you how to be a holy cow. You do it to yourself, you do. And that's why Radiohead says you do it to yourself, just you. You and no one else, you do it to yourself. Do it to yourself. Don't get my sympathy hanging at the 15th floor. I changed your locks 3 times. I still come reeling through the door. One day I'll get to you and teach you how to get to pure rest. Hell, you do it to yourself, you do. And that's why Radiohead says you do it to yourself, just you. You and no one else, you do it to yourself. Do it to yourself. You do it to yourself, you do. And that's why Radiohead says you do it to yourself, just you. You and no one else, you do it to yourself. You do it to
I would leave it on to play the end bit of that song, but it's actually good for the video. Actually, that particular track. If you ever look that up on YouTube, the video for Just, it's one of the good 90s videos. Now, like in the 90s, there was a lot of good music videos made, I feel. Anyway, that's one of them. Right, just so you know. Right, we're moving on to the next round, and it's a picture round. And it says flags here now. There I go. Remember, I was doing that Wednesday night. I don't know if any of you remember. I'm looking at the make sure I switched. Tourette's. Right. It is national flags, right? But instead of giving me the name of the name of the nation's flag, I want you to tell me what's missing on that flag. Okay, there's something missing on the flag, by the way. So you tell me what it is. It's a symbol that's missing. Okay? I'm not going to give you a point if you tell me, oh, that's the flag of such and such. I'm not getting a point for that. I want you to tell me what's missing from the flag. Alright? And wait you see some of the dickeries, man. That is my aim sort of work here, folks. As you'll see. So here's number one. What's missing from that flag? Now, if you... The trick is, if you know your flags and you see that and you think, aye, that's the flag of such and such, and that usually has that there in the middle of it. So that's your answer. What that is, it's been beautifully coloured over there by myself. Hell of a time here with this quiz. I've only just finished that about an hour ago. Doing these wee editing things on these flags on a laptop, it's just a pain in the arse, you know what I mean? Right, so that's that. I'm looking for what's missing on that flag. What is it that's missing there? Okay, here's number two. What's missing there? It's been all go this week, innit? In terms of, so in Thursday we'll find out more up here in Scotland if we're going on to what, phase 2, innit? I don't know what the phase is, whatever. Which would allow beer gardens to open. Yeah. But the thing is there's still this 2 metre social distancing rule, so everything will need to be, you sitting away from folk. So if you were wanting to go out and meet somebody from a mate or something that's not in your social bubble or whatever, you will need to sit away from them, which, fine, right? But the pubs will need to look at how do they organise that. Now, I mean, you're hearing all this. You'll be allowed in for maybe book a slot or something, or you go in for an hour and a half. I can't be bothered with that behaviour. I'm not going out for that behaviour, no chance. But then again, you might get the maddies that go out and go, I'm just going to go in for a half pint of lager, sit and read my Daily Telegraph in the sun for 2 hours, and the pub's what the guy's spending £2.50 or 2 hours nursing up a half pint of beer. Whereas if somebody like me, I'm a very civilised drinker, but I think it's the pubs will be actually looking for irresponsible drinkers rather than responsible drinkers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right, what's missing from that flag? Number 3. Aye. It's a bit, I want you to be as specific as possible in these answers, by the way. I suppose I've had it for them. You know what I mean? Some pubs might just feel it's not worth their while even attempting to open because they'll think, well, okay, I've got a small beer garden, but if it's not as if I can pack it out and say, hey, you got to come in. Yeah, we go. Maybe some pubs will try and do that and get away with it, and then the bowl's done up, but I don't know. I'm just getting it till probably late July before it gets to a wee bit of normality. Maybe. Right, number 4. Just so you know, the bottom half of that flag is white. It's not like a kind of flags that, Gary. It's just a wee half. It's just the other half of it, or the bottom half of it. Bottom half of it is white. if I had the background of that slide a different colour, like black or something, it would come up a better one, you know. Maybe I should have put that as black or something, but anyway, you get adjust here, don't you? It's if you're going to don't have that flag yellow. No, it's not like that, is it? So what's missing from that flag? That's number 4 there. Remember, you can pause these as we go along. There's number 5. What's missing from that flag? That was a wee bit easier, that one, in terms of colouring, and there was much to colour in there, plus the flag was a wee bit weird. But me had to increase the size of it as well, you know. Right. Okay, let's move on to your next one, number 6. What's missing from that flag? Oh, come on, knee on and knee flagging at this stage, Gary. Come on, you're doing well. You're only less than half an hour into it. You've got another 45 minutes to go. Come on, son. Nothing compared to last week, I know, but. Okay, number 7. What's missing from that? I went a bit mental at the end of last week, didn't I? In terms of everybody was a wee bit heavily watered, shall we say? Quite rightly so. Music, dancing, everything, man. Blankety blank. I listened back to that blankety blank the other day, just to I couldn't remember much of it, to be honest. And I'm like, that's good. But it was good. It was good to have the feedback. That's why I wanted to do another sort of live one. As we move on to number 8, what's missing from there? God, mate, look at the nick of that. That's the type of stuff that would win our prizes nowadays. Try to think about the name. It's not the Booker Prize, fuck's sake, Gary. It's the whatever prize there is, like the John Sullivan Prize. No, but I know I don't do a lot of the quizzes live for the YouTube. The YouTube channel doing it live is quite difficult in terms of being able to do this type of thing. But the good thing is, and plus because I mean it is every Sunday, but the good thing is the interaction you get with your punters, and definitely I think we will do it again. Absolutely, we'll throw in Popmaster again, and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and a bit of Mastermind in that as well, because that would do a treat. I feel. There's number 9. What's missing from there? You know what I mean? You just get that good vibe. But I mean, at the end of the day, as I've said this countless occasions, you know what I mean? You're all saying, "Oh, Gary, brilliant job," but the quiz wouldn't be the quiz if it wasn't for you, folks. It would not be. And the quizathon would not have worked if nobody was bothered with it. You know what I mean? I would have just been sitting there constantly doing questions and going, what's happening in the BBC News or something, you know what I mean, just to fill airtime. But the fact was that you all got involved, and that's the great thing. And that keeps the patter up, and that keeps all the you know. And I know because it's lockdown times and a lot of people can't be out and about as much as they usually are, and that's, you know, the way it is. But use if it wasn't for use, you know, none of this would work. And there's your final one, number 10. With a wee blue splodge there. But aye. Very enjoyable. I mean, this is what, well, obviously, with the terms of the leaderboard for the overall Sunday Bumper Quiz, which Davy Graham is out in front at the moment, um, I think we're only because we missed last week. We didn't do well. We did a bumper quiz, but it wasn't the same. Didn't count towards the leaderboard. So this is this week 13, really. Right, as I say, you can pause any of them and go back to them and look over them. In the meantime, let's get a wee bit of music. You can send me your answers, so on and so forth. I'm going to play you which is one of my all-time, no all-time, because it's no all-time, it's just this year I was going to refer to. This, for me, is one of the songs of the year so far. It's from Kroonibin, and features Leon Bridges on vocals. This is Texas Sun, folks. It's a beautiful song.
You say you like the wind blowing through your hair. Well, come on, roll with me till the sun goes down. Texas sun. Say you wanna hit the highway while the engine roars. Well, come on, roll with me till the sun goes down. Texas sun, oh yeah. Texas sun, caressing you from Fort Worth to Amarillo. Well, come on, roll with me till the sun dips low. Texas sun. Texas sun, oh girl. Texas sun. When I'm far from home and the cold winds blow, stuck out somewhere, the folks I don't know. 'Cause you keep me nice and you keep me warm. Wanna feel you on me, can't wait to get back there again. Texas sun. Texas sun. Texas sun. You say you like the wind blowing through your hair. Well, come on, roll with me till the sun goes down. Texas sun. Texas sun. Baby, you're so gorgeous. How about you and me? Take a little trip in the big body. Take a ride with me, babe. You by my side. How does it sound? You and I. Oh, girl. Take a ride with me, babe. You by my side.
Kroonibin, as I say, very strange name, American band. They usually play a lot of instrumental stuff, and that's one of the first times I've had a vocalist. I don't know if one of the first times, but Leon Bridges, great vocalist, and I think it's a superb song. Anyway, we move on to round 3, which is history. There I go again, see that? History. Which, if you've been watching the news a lot recently, a lot has been referred to history of late. But anyway, that's another issue. Let's move on to your first question here, which is question number 1. Who was British Prime Minister during the Suez Crisis in 1956? Who was British Prime Minister during the Suez Crisis in 1956? Yeah. Kinda, with social media nowadays, with regards to a lot about what's happening over the past week or so, both over here and in America. And you kind of get that. It's, you know what I mean, social media really is an echo chamber, because like on Twitter and all that, you follow people that have the same thoughts as yourself, and that's why you follow them, because you like what they have to say. So you get caught in a wee bubble, and then when you see a tweet that within your timeline that is kind of, that doesn't suit the narrative that you are thinking, it can anger you. But there's a total different side of that social media platform that has got the complete opposite view as to what you've got, and that really is, and that's what's happening in the world, is everybody's divided into their staunch opinions, and that becomes even more and more through the means of social media, becomes more and more people's views become more and more cemented as such. But I'm not going to get into this because this is a pub quiz, and it's no time and the place for that. Here is question 2. The Monte Rosa was a German ship until after World War II, when Britain took command of it and renamed it what? It was used to bring West Indian immigrants to the UK. The Monte Rosa was a German ship until after World War II, when Britain took command of it and renamed it what? Used to bring West Indian immigrants to the UK. So what did they rename it to? We'll get a bit historical there, and I wasn't going, but I'm not, because this is a pub quiz and everybody's got their own views. I definitely have got my own staunch views, but hey, you don't need to hear them. If you want to hear them, phone me. Nah, I just wish that, you know what my boy said to me the other day when I was out a walk, and we were listening to the radio, and there was a lot of stuff about Black Lives Matter and racism, and it was so heartwarming when he turns around to me and says, "I'm no racist, Dad," because he was listening into the conversation. Unbeknown to me, he was listening to this radio interview, and he says, "Everybody's the same," and he was talking about, like, I know it sounds bizarre, but as a kid at 6 years old, he looks at his, our dog's black, and he says, "Albie's black, and other dogs are different colours, but they're all dogs, and they're all treated the same." And that simplistic viewpoint, you just go, you're right, wee man. And that's the way you should look at humans as well, no matter what colour they are. And he's 6, and I said, as long as you stick to that viewpoint, wee man, you'll get somewhere. Well, my view. Anyway, as I say, we'll move on. The Altamont Free Concert of 1969 was arranged by the Rolling Stones, who were controversially booked to provide security. The Altamont Free Concert of 1969 was arranged by the Rolling Stones, who were controversially booked to provide security for that gig. It was kind of like this was like 4 months after Woodstock, and it was the West Coast version of Woodstock. Well, the Rolling Stones had this fantasy that they could, and many people believe this concert kind of brought to the end of the Summer of Love, because 3 people died at it. There was endless amount of crime committed, and there was. I was going to say a wee bonus point, but there was a band. I'll not give you a bonus because it might be, but there was a band that was heavily involved in arranging this concert as well, who ended up they didn't play. They were one of the top of the bill on at the festival, but they decided at the end that they weren't going to play because there was too much trouble going on. Aye, that's something. But who did the book controversially as their security? Question number 4. The Battle of George Square between strikers and police, then the military, and said to prevent a Bolshevik uprising, occurred in Glasgow in which year? The Battle of George Square between strikers and police, then the military, and said to prevent a Bolshevik uprising, occurred in Glasgow in which year? And that's kind of been in the news a wee bit. Well, some parts of that. So the strikers, this was, I was ready to give you a big clue there. I'm not going to say it. But controversially, the military was sent into Glasgow to quash this uprising because the government of the time were very fearful that there could be a Bolshevik uprising just like there was in Russia. Anyway, in what year did this happen? Tanks were actually in George Square, British tanks. No to defend the city from foreign invaders, but to quell its own citizens. Okay. Question 5, sticking with Glasgow, which Glaswegian is remembered for being at the forefront of the city's rent strikes in 1915? There is a plaque commemorating her in Lindhouse and a statue in Govan. Which Glaswegian is remembered for being at the forefront of the city's rent strikes in 1915? There is a plaque commemorating her in Lindhouse and a statue in Govan. Aye. There's a statue that you can. In fact, some of the streets in Glasgow, you think maybe that they should. Oh, like this person. Jimmy Reid, maybe. John McClane. No, him for Die Hard. You know. Billy Connolly. Jerry McDaniel Square. I believe that would be. He's a hero, a legend. Which Glaswegian is remembered for being at the forefront of the city's rent strikes in 1915? There is a plaque commemorating her in Lindhouse and a statue in Govan. Question 6, the Mau Mau uprising. I'm sure it's Mau Mau, isn't it? The Mau Mau uprising of the 50s occurred in which modern day country? The Mau Mau uprising of the 50s occurred in which modern day country? We're away from Glasgow now, just in case you. Mau Mau? What did they fight with? Postal? Wormhole? No? The Mau Maus? Postal? Oh, no, you're hanging into the city, man. I'm sure they'd be for Tory Glen, man. Tory Glen? No. Right. Okay, question number 7. What was the name of the terrorist organisation that was responsible for the assassination of the Jordanian PM Wasfi Tal and also the Munich massacre at the 1972 Summer Olympics? What was the name of the terrorist organisation that was responsible for the assassination of the Jordanian PM Wasfi Tal and also the Munich massacre at the 1972 Summer Olympic Games? Yep. Jordanian Prime Minister. Bannister, that is Masvidal. Great name, like that name. I'm going to press that. That's terrible, and it takes ages. There we go. Okay, so that was question number 7. This is question number 8. 3 points up for grabs here. Football clubs from which 3 cities dominated the European Cup from 1956 until 1967? Football clubs from which 3 cities dominated the European Cup from 1956 until 1967? No looking for the football club names, but the cities that they represented, because there's a reason why I've asked for the cities. So 3 cities in Europe dominated, clubs from those cities dominated the European Cup from 56 to 67. What were the 3 cities? And of course 1967, of course, is when that dominance ended by Celtic. If you want to know. So you get a point for each correct one that you can give me, each correct city. All right. Right, question number 9. British inventor Trevor Bayliss is best remembered for inventing what? Something that was used to help the fight against AIDS in Africa. British inventor Trevor Bayliss is best remembered for inventing what? Something that was used to help in the fight against AIDS in Africa. Remember this guy? Used to appear up in the Big Breakfast sometimes. I'm sure he did that. Absolutely. Remember the Big Breakfast? That was mental, wasn't it? That's where Chris Evans kind of kicked off on it. Him and Gabby. I was going to say Gabby Logan. It's not Gabby Logan. She's at the last age. There I go again. See? And people will be telling me, Gary is. Gabby Roslin. I heard you. Sorry. I got you. I eventually got there. We all remember the bed, remember? I don't know why I've said that now because I forget her name as well. With Michael Hutchins. Fucking Mrs. Bob Geldof sex. Aye, that's it. Cheers, thanks. And your final question of this round, question 10. Tobacco merchant William Cunningham's elegant palace in Glasgow is now home to what? And this has been in the news a bit recently. Tobacco merchant William Cunningham's elegant palace in Glasgow is now home to what? And of course this dude has a connection with down here in Stuart. Well, we're at Laneshaw, but aye. But his elegant palace in Glasgow is now home to what? Or what was his elegant palace? And that's the whole big controversial thing about Glasgow now with all that. Which has been known for years, to be honest. And a lot of the times people have been going, I should do something about that, and then it kind of goes, but that's what happens in the news. A lot of times it's like a big thing, and then it just, and I think that's what a lot of like, folk in city chambers and Glasgow would be like, I can't be bothered with the whole, try to think of the notion of having to change so many street names in Glasgow. We'll die down, but then it comes back again, and it comes back again, and that just builds and builds and builds momentum. So anyway. But like it or not, it is part of the city's history, and it's no pretty, but it is. Anyway, so that is question 10 of round number 3. Let's have a break once again. Now you can, as I say, you can submit your answers to me via Messenger or WhatsApp. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah, Gary. Right, okay, let's get back to we always on a Sunday afternoon like to play an old rave classic. So what about this one? An absolute belter.
Can you feel it?
didn't really, but I know. Yeah, I done it again there. So can I help it? Can you feel it? Anyway, that was an old classic. Remember, we do have the card game that comes back, not the old player cards, right, which we had lots of fun with on Sunday last week. We're back to the old card game itself, but more of that later. Let's move on to round number 4, which is a connection round, folks. A connection round, 10 general knowledge, well, 9 general knowledge questions. There is a connection to all the answers. You know the score, and that is question number 10. But let's start off with question number 1. Scottish singer Derek William Dick is better known by what name? Scottish singer Derek William Dick is better known by what name? No a nickname or anything. Well, there isn't maybe a name, but he's better known by this stage name. Aye. I'm just looking at the Dougies lying upside down. Obviously warm. That's when Doug's doing that. Oh. Yeah, right. Right, Scottish singer Derek William Dick is better known by what name? Question number 2. Who was the first ever Labour Prime Minister? Who was the first ever Labour Prime Minister? I'll need to change the settings on this to note from American English, because that's why the wee red line appears up under Labour, because obviously there's no U in Labour. Americans spelling of stuff. They just do that deliberately. They just do that deliberately, don't they? Now, like organisations with a Z, you know, they like to say, well, we need to be different from the UK, you know, from their English, so we'll just be smart and just make an arse of ourselves. Labour Day. Mind you, we've got a cheek to talk. Some of the words that we've got, anyway, don't make much sense. Question number 3. Hazel, Bigwig, and Pipkin were all characters in which novel, later adapted into an animated. Carrie. One of the basic rules of fucking spelling. But vocabulary. Later adapted into an animated movie in 1978. Hazel, Bigwig, and Pipkin were all characters in which novel, later adapted into an animated movie in 1978. Football back next Wednesday, folks. The Old English. I've not been watching. The Italians, the La Liga's back. The Italian Coppa Italia was there. Coppa Italia, and then of course English Premierships starting back. Scottish football is just sitting going. You know what I mean? For Scottish football fans, they could have, as I said, they could do. I don't know. I think it's just a bit of a mess, isn't it? Anyway. English footballs, and I think what Sky are doing is when you're watching, say it's Spurs against Leicester or something, you can select the crowd note. So if it's Spurs, you can hear your Spurs fans singing their usual songs and what have you. So it gives the game a bit of atmosphere when you're watching it live. Imagine that for an Old Firm game. Sky will be like that. Hi, fans, you can pick your own songs to listen to during the game. No, that's banned. No, that's deleted. No. That would work well, wouldn't it? Right, question number 4. The Lady Justice statue that stands above the Old Bailey in London. She has a sword in one hand and what in the other? The Lady Justice statue that stands above the Old Bailey in London. She has a She has a sword in one hand and what in the other? That would be funny, wouldn't it? Jeez. But it's not going to happen, is it? But I see that they're going to do the Champions League and the Europa League. I think the last 8 of the Champions League they're going to do is a sort of mini tournament in Lisbon, I think. And the Europa League last 16 will be a mini tournament in Germany somewhere. So I believe, so that they can get these games just pushed through straight away. So that's going to be another bizarre one, isn't it? So, like the FA Cup finals, what, the 1st of August or something? I think they're hoping maybe to get some fans in for that. But the Champions League final, I'm sure, will not have any fans. We'll see what happens. Question 5. Tight Fit reached number 1 in the UK singles chart in 1982 with a cover of which song? Tight Fit reached number 1 in the UK singles charts in 1982 with a cover of which song? Aye, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Release is back. I mean, I've been watching a bit of racing, but all the betting's a bit. Although for my dad, there was a horse that ran on Friday at the Curragh. Crossfire Hurricane, Joseph O'Brien, I think is the trainer. And just because of that Rolling Stones reference there for you, mate, Crossfire Hurricane. I think it could be a wee bet for the Derby. Whether that's going to be the English or Irish Derby, we'll see. Right, question number 6. In which 1988 movie do Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito play two brothers separated at birth? See that? It's Russian. That's no Russian as in the nationality, but that's rushing a job. I need to get this sub-edited by somebody. Look at all these before I do this live. Okay, that's in which 1988 movie do Arnold Schwarzenegger, I just saying that for Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Danny DeVito play two brothers separated at birth? I'm going to double checking when I was trying to spell that and type out. Question 7. Angie. Back to Rolling Stones one, Crossfire Hurricane. Angie and Silver Train are songs that feature on what Rolling Stones album? Angie and Silver Train are songs that feature on what Rolling Stones album? Angie. It's not a right song, isn't it? Not one of their best. Definitely not one of their best. Others may differ. But anyway, that's your question there. Right, question number 8. What skill is Colombian goalkeeper Rene Higuita remembered for in a match at Wembley in 1995? I remember that. What skill is Colombian goalkeeper Rene Higuita remembered for in a match at Wembley in 1995? What was it he did that made everybody go, wow? And I think Gaza was walking away and he had never seen it. And he's going like, everybody's going, wow. And he's going, what happened? What happened? And I can't remember who it is, but they're trying to explain it to him as they're walking away and he's going, well, I did this. And he's going, all right. Watch it match of the day tonight. Dang, you can't, when you're at a game, you can't rewind it back and go, I see that goal again. You're at a game, but you're too busy celebrating, aren't you? That's the point, yeah. Live action. Right, question number 9. What is the name of the harbour in Thurso Bay in which you can catch the ferry to Stormness in Orkney? What is the name of the harbour in Thurso Bay in which you can catch the ferry to Stormness in Orkney? See, it's doing that thing with harbour again there. Harbour. That's what is the name of the harbour in Thurso Bay in which you can catch the ferry to Stormness in Orkney. Now, hopefully, as these have been going along, you've been getting a fair idea of what your connection is. I think it's not that difficult. So, the good thing is, if some of the questions you look at, well, that's a bit thrown me about there, Gary. You can maybe use this as a means of thinking, well, aye, that could maybe the answer to that one. So what is the connection, folks? What is that connection? So that is your question number 10. Okay. Right. One more round to go. I'm just going to play this song because I'm just fucking.
Monday should take the world from
quiz anthem for me, and I don't care. I'm just playing it as much as I want to play it because it's my quiz and I'm doing it as much as I want to anyway. Right. Talking about music, it's the music round, it's the intros round, folks. It's the same as per usual. We are looking for the name of the artist and the song. You get a point for each, so 20 points up for grabs. And yes, here we go. Here is your first one. Okay, dokie. Classic.
You talk like Marlene Dietrich, and you dance like Zizi Jeanmaire. Your clothes are all made by Balmain, and there's diamonds and pearls in your hair. Yes, there are.
Okay, folks, so that is number one there for you. Number one. Okay. Remember, you can rewind them back yourselves if you want to listen to them again rather than me playing them again. Do that again. Right, here is number 2. Okay, so that was number 2 there, folks. That's number 2. Right, let's move on to number 3, artist and song.
Chewing on a piece of grass, walking down the road. Tell me, how long you gonna stay here, Joe?
Okay, that was number 3 there, folks. That was number 3, yes. Amazing that, wasn't it? Number 3. Right, here is number 4. You know the score.
Drinking in the morning sun, blinking in the morning sun.
Okay, so that was number 4, folks. Number 4. Let's get on to number 5. Why not?
Over bridge of sighs, to rest my eyes in shades of green, under dreaming spires, to Ichiku Park.
Do you know what I said to myself, Gary? You always need to be careful of these particular songs, and I'm going, Gary, it's coming up. Anyway, name and artist, song and artist. Right, number 6. Here's the next one.
Baby, can't you see I'm calling? A guy like you should wear a warning. It's dangerous, I'm falling. There's no escape, I can't wait. I need a hit, baby, give me it. You're dangerous, I'm loving it.
You have to put some of these songs in there, folks. You do. Some of you are saying, no, you don't, Gary. I know I don't, but I just do. Number 7, folks. Number 7. Let's go for it. that's number 7. Right, 3 more to go. Here we go with number 8, folks. Number 8.
Life was gave us power. Then what came and made us free? What price now for a shallow piece of dignity?
Okay, as I've said on many of occasions, you can rewind them back and listen to them. Let's move on to number 9. Your penultimate one. Here we go.
There's a place up ahead and I'm going just as fast as my feet can fly. Come away if you're going.
Okay. What was that? Who was that? And what song was that? And here's your final one. Your last one of this round and of the quiz for tonight. Number 10.
Maybe I've forgotten the name and the address.
Okay, so that was your last one there, folks. That was number 10 there. Okay, so as I say, I'm not even going to say it again because as I say all the time, you can rewind it back and listen to it. You know the score, folks. Right, okay, we'll get the card game and a wee momento. Let's get a wee bit of sounds on. Ah, I know this wee song.
Will you recognize
by Emily Sandé there. I don't know what it is. It just always. I remember that for I think it was 2012 in the Summer Olympics in London. Happier times. It just seems everything seemed to be a bit more unified. Anyway, I love that. I always love watching the opening ceremony. The Summer Olympics. Really showed it at its best. Right. Anyway, it's time for the card game. Let's get cracking on with this. We've taken up some time anyway. Right, this is for teams that didn't win the quiz in the last week. But submitted. By the way, just to come up, if you want to send your answers to me the new for that quiz, then do it now. Anyway, so I'll run through which cards are which. We have Davy Graham. So the winners last week were Gillian, Susan, Peter, Dom, and John. So these teams get to play for an extra 2 or 3 points. No, is it 2 or 3 points? It is, isn't it? Aye, because it wasn't won the week before. It was won the 2 weeks ago. It was, wasn't it? Aye, it was. Right. So Ace of Spades is Davy Graham. 2 is Dougie and Jim. 3 is Anne and Bob. 4 is Jim, Andy, Mags and Tracy. 5 is Fiver a Skull, appropriately. 6 is Ryan and Jade. 7 is Mary and Jerry. 8 is John McMenemy. 9 is Stephen and Marie. 10 is Sid and Wendy. Jack is Mark, Gregor, Gary and Andy. Queen is Queen Joan. Queen Joan. Absolutely Queen Joan. And Eric. King is King Sandy. There you go, King Sandy. And Ace of Hearts is Janet and Ian. Janet and Ian. Yeah. So to mix these up, folks, remember the whole point of this game is if you draw 2 cards that come out as the same suit, then you get 2 points added to that previous week's score, which is 2 weeks ago. And if you get 2 cards of the same, which I don't think we've had yet, i.e. 2 threes or 2 jacks or whatever, then we will have that. They get to play for that, right? Anyway, the card is a 9, which is Stephen and Marie. Stephen and Marie, a 9 there for you. Okay, Stephen and Marie, well done to you as well. We'll see in terms of, and I know that this is the boxing of cards, and will that, Gary, is that going to be good enough? Because, you know, and I know, man, sometimes my box, this boxing isn't good, but these are big cards. Don't they fucking deny that? They're big cards, and try to mix them up and do it in a time frame that is actually alright. It's something anyway. Let's give this a go. Okay, right. Stephen and Marie. Your first card is, well, it's a Queen of Clubs. Queen of Clubs for you. Now you can't change it. What you're hoping for here is another Queen, which would give you 3 points. If not, if you get another club, you will get yourself 2 points. And it is, it's a spade, I'm sorry. Okay, apologies there, Stephen and Marie, not getting that there, but what can I do? I nearly knocked that beer out. Anyway, We will have another one next week, folks. So it'll be 4 points and 6 points that will be up for grabs. Right, your answers are coming in a memento. Just a way to get things sorted out. Here's a wee bit of Solange.
Tell me the truth, boy, am I losing you for good? We used to kiss all night, but now there's just no use. I don't know why I fight it. Clearly we are through. Tell me the truth, boy, am I losing you for good? I know you're waiting for the worst that you can get from me. Just treat me good and baby, I'll give you the rest of me. I'm not the one that you should be making your enemy. I'm not the one that you should be making your enemy. Tell me the truth, boy, am I losing you for good? We used to kiss all night, but now there's just no use. I don't know why I fight it. Clearly we are through. Tell me the truth, boy, am I losing you for good? There's nothing more, I know you're taking it away from me. I gave you everything and now there's nothing left of me. I'm not the one that you should be making.
Okay, losing you. Let's see if any of yous have lost tonight. Oh, no, that's not right. It's Solange there. Pure mad Solange, man. Right, okay, let's get your answers now, folks. Round number one was the general knowledge round. Question one was Haarlem is a city in which European country? That is the Netherlands. Of course, Haarlem's a area of New York. New York used to be known as New Amsterdam because the Dutch had a big influence there. Anyway, which department store was the oldest in Scotland until it was purchased by? It was an independent department store until House of Fraser bought it in 2005. That is Jenner's in Edinburgh. Question three, in the UK, what was the name given to buildings in which merchants traded grains? That is the Corn Exchange. Question four, which American actor and comedian who died in 2005 was married 7 times to 5 women? That was Richard Pryor. Question five, in Italy, a 4 seasons pizza is divided into quarters, each featuring toppings for the seasons: olives for summer, mushrooms for autumn, ham for winter, and artichokes for spring. Yes, artichokes. Question six, who was the original presenter of the BBC's MasterChef when it was first broadcast in 1990? That was Lloyd Grossman. Bombardier Billy Wells was a successful British boxer, but it was also regularly appeared on silver screen hitting what? It was the gong. He was the gong man. Bong! At the beginning of Rank Films. Question 8, the term above board to describe something that is legitimate originates from which game? That's poker. Because if you have your the board is the table basically, and if you had your hands above on the table, then it was then you couldn't be up to anything a bit dodgy. Question 9, the bit between his or her teeth is a term used to describe something taking on a task enthusiastically, but from which sport does it originate? Of course, it's horse racing. The bit between your teeth is what the horse chews on. They've got the bit in their teeth, and when they've got the bit in and they're biting down on it, they're usually winning for you. No, for me anyway. Question number 10. In 1927, John Logie Baird transmitted the first long-distance television signal from London to which Glasgow hotel? That was the Central Hotel in Glasgow Central Station. It was much easier to do it there than anywhere else because the train from London, they had to lift all that gear, and so why not just lift it straight into the Central Hotel? Right, picture round. Right, oh, what is missing from that? That is the Son of May. The Son of May. That's Argentina's flag. 2, this is Sri Lanka's flag, but we're looking for, it's a lion that's missing, that's holding that sword. Question 3, that is the flag of Australia, and what's missing there is the Union Jack. 4, that's the flag of Singapore, and you might have guessed with the way it was scribbled out, it's the crescent moon that's missing, crescent moon. 5, that's a flag of Cuba, and it's a star, just a white star that's missing there. 6, flag of Saudi Arabia, and it's a sword that's missing. Question 7 is Cyprus. What's missing there is olive branches, 2 olive branches, which were used to signify the peace between the Greeks and the Turks on the island. 8 is a flag of Lebanon, and that's the cedar tree that's missing, cedar tree. Question 9 is a flag of Israel, and that's the Star of David that's missing. And question 10, it's a flag of Liechtenstein, and it's a crown that's missing there. Yeah, it's a crown, folks. Let's get you that there. There you go. Just have a look at that. Right, round number 3 was your history. Who was British Prime Minister during the Suez Crisis in 1956? That was Anthony Eden. Question 2, the Monte Rosa was a German ship until World War II. After World War II, the British commissioned it, and they used it to bring West Indian immigrants to the UK. That was Empire Windrush, the Windrush generation, and Scandal, obviously. The Ultimate Free concert in '69, arranged by the Rolling Stones, was the Hells Angels provided security. Question 4, the Battle of George Square took place in 1919, after the First World War. Question 5, which Glaswegian is remembered for being at the forefront of the city's rent strikes in 1915? There's a statue of her in Govan. That's Mary Barber. The Mau Mau uprising of the 50s occurred in which modern day country? That's Kenya. That's question 6. Question 7, what was the name of the terrorist organisation responsible for assassinating Wasfi Tal and the Munich massacre? That was Black September. Question 8, a point for each year. Football clubs from which 3 cities dominated the European Cup from 56 to 67? That was Madrid, Real, Lisbon, Benfica, and Milan, AC and Inter. So Madrid, Lisbon and Milan. Question 9, British inventor Trevor Bayliss is best remembered for inventing the wind-up radio, and what it was the purpose of it was to spread the news of the prominence of AIDS in Africa and give people information on how to help themselves prevent themselves from getting the disease. So that was the reason behind his invention. And question 10, tobacco merchant William Cunningham's elegant palace in Glasgow is now home to the Gallery of Modern Art. Question round number 4, the connections answers. Scottish singer Derek William Dick is better known as Fish. Who was first ever Labour Prime Minister? That was Ramsay MacDonald. Hazel, Bigwig, Pipkin are all characters from Watership Down. Question 4, the Lady Justice statue stands above the Old Bailey. One hand she has a sword, and the other she has scales. Question 5, Tight Fit had a number 1 in the UK singles charts in '82 with a cover of The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Question 6, in which 1988 movie do Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny Vito play 2 brothers separated at birth? That is Twins. Question 7, Angie and Silver Train are songs that feature Don Goat's Head Soup, the Rolling Stones album. Question 8, what skill is Colombian goalkeeper René Higuita remembered for in a match at Wembley in '95? That's the scorpion kick, And what is the name of the harbour in Thurso Bay? You can catch ferry at Orkney, that's Scrabster. connection, zodiac symbols or zodiac signs. Ram, water, scales, lion, twins, goat, scorpion, and crab. I don't need to go through what the thingies were with them. Right, your intros round, let's give you them. Let's run through them. That, of course, was I'm just going to go through them quite quick. Peter Sarstedt with Where Did You Go, My Lovely? Orchestral Manoeuvres in Dark, OMD, with Electricity. That was America with Ventura Highway. Of course, that was Elbow, One Day Like This. Made a pig's ear of that one. That was Small Faces with HQ Park. Britney Spears with Toxic. Teardrop Express with Reward. Manic Street Preachers with A Design for Life. CCR Creedence Clearwater Revival with Up Around the Bend. And I hope yous have no regret. That is Regret by New Order. So let's get you clarification on those answers, folks. There you are. As I say, CCR, if you put in Creedence Clearwater Revival, which is the full name, that's fine. Of course it's fine. Of course it's fine. Okay. Right, our results board will be posted later on tonight to see how well you have done, and I'll update the leaderboard. But that's it from me. Yes, it is. That's it from me. I will be back on Wednesday night with a Capital Cities pub quiz at 8 o'clock. Hope you can join me then. It's a whole load of things in there. It's not just plain simple Capital Cities on 8. There's going to be variations on that theme. Now, I will have the quiz there, but I will not be posting the results on Wednesday night, just to make you aware. The results will not be announced until the following day. But there'll be another bumper pub quiz next Sunday as well at 4 o'clock. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves, folks. As I say, I'll be back on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Hope you can join me then. But as I always say at this stage, it is always a pleasure.
Now I'd like to say goodbye to all my fellow friends. And if you like this shit on here, I'll see your ass again.
No need for the cheering. That's just taking it beyond. It's alright. It's fine. Yep, and as I say, once again, folks, for all your faithful and loyal support. Stay safe, quizzers. I'll see you soon.